Good evening and welcome everybody to Tuesday the 28th. So it's 28th of March, Planning Committee. We have in attendance tonight esteemed members of the press and I believe 3 members of the peer review panel. More on their way, more the merrier, it'll bulk out the numbers. So good evening, councillors, and those that are watching from home or on YouTube, we'll start proceedings. Okay, do I have any apologies for tonight? I have 3 been submitted to me. Councillor Dave Jones has been substituted by Joel Edgerton Plunkett. Good evening. Councillor Mark Holland is substituted by Councillor Jill Heesam. And lastly, we have Councillor Andy Fear, who's substituted by Councillor Barry Panther. Good evening to you also. Okay, second items of interest tonight on the agenda is declarations of interest. Is anybody on the planning committee tonight wish to declare an interest on the agenda items? I'll take that by consent that that's the case, that they haven't. Which brings us timely on to item 3, which is minutes of the previous meeting. Do councillors accept this is a true and accurate record of proceedings, the last meeting? Could I have a show of hands to represent that, please? Thank you, and that's unanimous. Okay, we bring us on to item number 4. Application for other development, land adjacent to playing fields, Manor Road, Madeley, High Speed 2 Limited. Hand you over to our officers now. We'll introduce the item. Thank you.
I'm just sharing this screen, just bear with me. Right, so this application is seeks approval for plans and specifications under Schedule 17 of the High Speed Rail Act for the construction of a bat house, earthworks to create 2 bunds and associated fence and access gates. So Section 17 of the Act grants deemed planning consent for HS2 works, but some of the detailed design and construction are subject to further approval, which is the application that you have before you. So as deemed planning permission has been granted by the Act, requests for approval under Schedule 17 are not planning applications. So this site is on Manor Road, Madeley, or off Manor Road. So on the screen here, if you can see my cursor, this is Manor Road. And this is the application site here. And there with the little red square is the location of the proposed bat house. So this is just another plan, a bit more detailed, that shows you the bat house, the access in to the site, and the 2 bunds there to either side of the access. So the bat house is required due to the loss of maternity roosts for bats in buildings that are to be demolished or disturbed due to the HS2 works. There are 2 types of bat house, a small one and a large one, and this is a large version, which is designed to accommodate brown long-eared bats. So, oh, sorry, I just went too quickly there. So this is the proposed bat house. So it has a height of 7 metres and a floor area of approximately 40 square metres. It would be constructed mainly of Staffordshire bricks, Staffordshire red engineering bricks with a Welsh slate roof, and there would be some elements of cladding and reclaimed oak. The proposed bunds that I showed you on the location plan are to supplement the bat house and create ecological features in order to protect and enhance the existing landscape. So this is a image that's been submitted that shows the building, visual representation of the building, which you can see there. And we also have some photos. Now, it's adjacent to the existing playing fields, football pitches off Manor Road. So that's the area there for the football pitches. And then this is the view from Manor Road across to the site. So the bat house would be located just behind those trees there. Another photo, and again, it would be just behind this group of trees. So it's an agricultural field bound by high hedgerows, and the building has been designed to be sited so that it has minimal impact from any main vantage points. Access into the site would be provided to the north, and that would only be required for occasional maintenance of the bat house. So I think that was it for photos. Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Do we have any public speakers tonight? No. Okay. Right. And in that case, then I'll open it up to the councillors. Councillor Bryan.
Thank you, Chair. Just a question. Given what I heard previously about HS2 works being halted, has the building that this replaces been knocked down already, and is it definitely going to be? In which case, do we need it? Thank you.
I'm afraid I can't answer whether the building, or I presume it's the number of buildings, whether they have been demolished as yet, but certainly HS2 consider that it's necessary and has submitted the application, and we are required under that act to determine the details of the application before us.
I'm aware from the county council that at the moment we've only had notification that civil works are going to be continued. We're seeking at the moment clarification on the definitive view on that. Councillor Panther.
Thank you, Chair. As a local resident in Meadley, just a couple of points I'd like to cover. Firstly, as it's a brick structure, I take it it's going to be permanent. And secondly, it's Red Lane, the access point, is very, very narrow indeed at the bottom of a hill. I'm just wondering what measures have been taken to forewarn traffic coming up and down Bar Hill on that. And secondly, is it going to make any problems with the playing field and access along Manor Road to the cemetery?
To your first question, yes, it will be a permanent construction. The access into the site, yeah, is off Red Lane. It's only required, as I said, for occasional maintenance of the bat house, but measures to control road safety and traffic impacts arising from construction of the works are separately covered and aren't part of this application. HS2, as part of the regulations, they have other documents, other regulations, legislation that cover the construction of all their of any of their applications. So that's dealt with separately to this application that's before you now. The playing fields, no, it won't affect any access into the playing fields.
Thank you for that, Mrs. Colleen. Councillor Gorton.
Thank you, Chairman. Unlike other members, really, I don't know the area and I don't know the site. I am slightly concerned, though, by the fact that the bat house is going to be adjacent to playing fields. It wouldn't seem to me to be a perfect location for this particular project. I know it's probably not something really that officers have a great deal of control over, but I think it might cause a few eyebrows to be raised, really. You're putting a bat house by playing fields?
I think it's quite some distance really, and so the playing fields, as far as I'm aware, are over here. And you saw on the photo that there was substantial landscaping, tree cover here, and the building is tucked away behind there. I'll just go back to the photographs. So, yeah, I think that's probably the edge of the playing fields, and the bat house is going behind all this landscaping here. So, but presumably they've had advice of ecologists, experts in that field, and are satisfied that that would be an appropriate location for the bats.
Does it wish to speak on this item? In which case, I'm happy to propose that we approve this application from the chair. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Crisp. Thank you. In which case, we've had a proposal, a seconder. Can I see a show of hands, please, in support of that or not? And I think that's unanimous. Thank you, councillors. That brings us on to item 5, which is a similar application to the one that we just heard. This application for other development land to the north of Snapehall Road, Baldwin's Gate, High Speed 2 Limited. Over to you, Mrs. Colleen.
So yes, another bat house, this time on Snapehall Road. I won't repeat much of what I said in relation to the previous application because it is identical, but this time it's solely for the bat house and doesn't include the other things that were referenced on the other applications, such as the bunds and the fence and the gates. This is just for the bat house. So if I just show you on the plans. So the A53 runs, you can see my cursor, yeah, is over to the far right anyway of the map. And this is Snapehall Road here. So this time the bat house is proposed in that location there. Again, same photos or same drawings as before, identical design. This time, another visualization representing the location of the bat house. And we struggled to take photos of this one really because it really is in the middle of nowhere in terms of public access to the site. So this is taken from Snapehall Road, and the bat house is over this hill and sunk down. As you saw on that, you can see that the land slopes down and the bat house is located down at the bottom. So that is from, just go back to show you on the map, sorry. So the next couple of photos are taken from this point here. So off Snapehall Road, there's a public right of way and these farm buildings here. So the next couple of photos are taken from that point. So up across, and you can't see the location of the bat house. Yeah, so again, it's over this hill and the other side set down. And again, over here, set down out of sight. So that's it. Thank you.
All right, over to you, councillors. Councillor Panther.
Just a quick one, Chair. Is the size of this bat house, is it the same as the one in Madeley?
Do we have any other speakers? Anybody wish to speak? Wow, we are quite a lot tonight. Okay then, well, unusual circumstances dictate. I'm happy to propose this application as written in the report. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Bryant. Can I see a show of hands in support of that, please, or not? Thank you, and I think that's unanimous. That brings us on to item 6, the agenda tonight, to be found in pages 23 to 24, 5 Bogs Cottages, Keele. Councillors have had the chance to read this on their agenda tonight. I believe this is supplementary.
Yes, thank you, Chair.
Nick.
The first thing I say is please ignore the report because I've got a further update for you in respect of conditions 3 and 4. But for those members that have not been on this committee recently, there was a planning enforcement appeal which was subject to a hearing, and we received the decision notice at the end of December. Members were updated at the meeting of the 31st of January, and it was reported to members that the enforcement notice was quashed and planning consent was granted on a personal consent to the couple living on the site. But importantly, 3 of the conditions required certain things to take place within a certain period of time. That is within 3 months of the decision notice. Condition 2 required the demolition of a garage on the site. That has been demolished and all materials have been removed. So that condition has been discharged. The next 2 fundamental conditions are that within 3 months, a development scheme should be submitted to the council in respect of the drainage and sewerage. And condition 4, similarly, within a period of 3 months, details of a restoration programme should be submitted to the local authority. The report says these haven't been submitted, but as the end of last week, 2 planning applications have been submitted to discharge these conditions. The first one that relates to the drainage, the principal consultee will be Severn Trent. So as in the usual way, we have consulted them. It's too early yet to get the comments back, but this is just an update tonight. We're not dealing with those planning applications. They'll come to you in probably 2 months' time, once we've had all the consultation responses back. So the other one relating to the restoration, again, that's a separate application. So that will come at the same time as the other application. So that's the update for members, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Members, you wish to speak? Councillor Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Speaking on behalf of Councillor Jones, who can't be with us tonight, I received a letter from one of the residents, and it's about the plan application as the officers stated. So if I can read this email, then it'll all be explained, Mr. Chairman. The plans are complete. This is from a resident of number 2, the Bogs Cottages.
Councillor, can I just say we're here to comment on the report. We're not here to discuss the application itself.
Well, that's right, but like some more detail from the officer about the sewerage and drainage. So it's very important to know. We've been how many years we've been at this Bogs Cottage, and now we're finally down here to have to look at the plans, but at the same time, Mr. Chairman, we would need to get it right. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Williams, I'll allow that. Just to come back on that.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Yes, already we've had a few comments from local residents. The case officer has informed me that there are concerns that, one, the drainage details are wrong, and that all the information that's on the application is not correct. What we have done, I've mentioned that we have consulted Severn Trent. They will tell us if there's any defects in the application as far as they're concerned, and we will pick that up with the applicant. So we will be watching this, paying particular regard to any comments back. I also understand that it will require building control approval. That can either be done through the local authority, us as a council, or it can be done through an approved inspector, which doesn't involve the council, although we are notified. So likewise, we'll keep an eye on that. But as far as the details are concerned, we are aware that there are concerns about it, and we will take notice of that as far as the residents are concerned.
Councillors wish to comment? Okay, then that moves me into the next bit. Shall the information that we've heard, the update from our officers tonight, are we content to receive that information? And if so, can you please show your hands in support of that, please? Thank you. That's unanimous. Item 7, urgent business. I'm not aware of any urgent business tonight. Is there any urgent business? No urgent business tonight, no confidential items. Okay, in which case, slightly unusual position. We're going to be finishing before 7:30, which is unheard of, really. So it just goes to for me to close the meeting and to thank you all for your participation tonight, even though it was fairly quiet. We'll leave it at that. And thank you, everybody, for joining us at home. Thank you to our esteemed member of the press, and thank you to our peer review panel. I'm sorry I didn't introduce you guys at the back. You come in after I'd introduced your other partners. So thank you very much. The meeting's now closed. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Nate, Rachel.